This is Stacey Habiker, also known as the Clean Girl. She's an influencer from Chandler, Arizona, and she has amassed over 4.7 million followers on TikTok, 16.2 million subscribers on YouTube, and 1.8 million on Instagram. Her most popular TikTok has gotten over 150 million views, and she has a short on YouTube with over 500 million views. She is a huge creator, and she is the absolute queen of rage baits.
It's an alien.
But in my opinion, she is also making fetish content while intentionally acting and talking like a child. Today's book report, for lack of a better term, is all about the Clean Girl and how she rose to fame, some background info that you probably have never heard of, and why she has so much controversy surrounding her. And then we're going to go into why I think, in my personal opinion, that she is also creating fetish content. And we're gonna watch lots of videos of her together, so you're gonna have a very good grasp on this situation by the end of the video. I could not make these videos without support from my sponsors, so I'm going to roll to that, but I will be right back, I promise. Nowadays, meal planning and complicated recipes just feel like a thing of the past. There's so many ways to simplify our lives now and get back lots of extra time that we could be spending at the beach or with our family and friends. With Hungryroot, which is today's sponsor, you can get more of that time back. Hungryroot is a grocery and meal planning service that was developed specifically for different lifestyles in mind. They only use high quality ingredients and have over 15,000 recipes to choose from each week, which so many of them can be made in 15 minutes or less. If your family needs to be gluten-free, vegan, gut-friendly, high protein, whatever you need, you can use Hungryroot's filters to find only items in that category. One of the reasons I love Hungryroot so much is because as a single gal living alone, I throw away so much less food when I have Hungryroot. Here I'm having a light meal as I had a heavy breakfast this day, so I just had kind of a light lunch. These are pre-cooked pork chops that I just put on the stove to warm through, and some pineapple on the side, and oh my god, the pork was juicy and flavorful, and the same adjectives for the pineapple. I was in heaven here. This was so delicious. One of my other favorite things about Hungryroot is that you could fill your cart online, not in the grocery store. So you could do it when you're in a good state of mind, in a good mood, and probably, with a full stomach, which means fewer trips to the grocery store, which also means fewer opportunities to grab too many snacks, the candy, the chips. Take advantage of my exclusive offer. For a limited time, get 40% off your first box plus a free item in every box for life. Click the link below. It'll be right at the top of the description under this video, or go to hungryroot.com and use code HannahTheHorrible at checkout. That's 40% off your first box plus a free item for life when you go to hungryroot.com and use code HannahTheHorrible. Thank you again to Hungryroot for sponsoring today's video and keeping my tummy happy as well. Now let's get into it. Okay, very, very quick legal disclaimer. Everything in this video is my opinion based on publicly available information. Any sort of allegations I talk about in this video is alleged. I am not accusing Stacey or the Clean Girl of a crime. I am not. I don't know this person personally. I can't speak to who she is as a person outside of social media. I can only speak to how she publicly presents herself. So just want to be clear right off the bat that this is speculation based on what I know and the research that I've done. This is not fact, and I am not accusing anyone of anything. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's start with who this person is, because while I'm sure many of you have heard of her or have seen her in passing on your For You page, many of you don't have any idea who I'm talking about. Stacey was not always a TikToker. She actually used to be a bodybuilder. I know nothing about this world, granted, but when you Google her name, these pics come right up. This is very public information, and from what it looks like she was really good at it. It looked like she was pretty competitive in the space. Other than bodybuilding, she has also always been very, very passionate about cleaning. Before social media, she owned a cleaning company called Made a Mess. It's a pun. Made, M-A-I-D, Made a Mess. In September of 2023 is when she started posting her videos on TikTok and YouTube. The first video on TikTok was of her giving 100 strangers a free lunch. And I want you to watch this video with me and tell me what you notice.
Surprising 100 strangers with a free lunch. Free? I never seen nothing free in the world.
I couldn't believe people's reactions.
It's free?
It's free.
Oh, okay.
You like a cheeseburger? It's free. No? Yeah. It's free.
No, it's free, but I ordered burger.
That's okay. There's another one. I have a bunch of hamburgers I need to give out.
McDonald's?
Bye. I know you're at Taco Bell, but they're free.
Thank you.
Everyone was so surprised that they were actually getting a burger for free. This just goes to prove that something so simple like a $1 burger from McDonald's could easily make someone's day.
Thank you.
For all your hard work, you're officially gone.
Now, not much to note about that video. It's clear that she was starting off with that very popular niche on social media of like surprising strangers with all this money I spent on them, basically. Very Mr. Beast-like kind of niche. But what I want you to notice about that video is her voice. Just take note of it. This first video on TikTok got 1.4 million views. And I'm not gonna lie, I personally do not like this genre of video. I think it's very exploitative to people under the guise of altruism. If you really wanted to do a good deed for somebody, why do you have to film it? Like, if you really wanted to do it just to do something nice, like, why not just do it in private and quietly? A lot of people defend that type of video by saying like, well, it's inspiring good, it's inspiring other people to go out and do a good deed, which, like, fair, but then why not blur out the faces of the people on camera? That would still inspire people and respect their privacy and not be so exploitative. So I don't know, it's just weird. Anyway, her next video is called I Got Caught Cleaning the McDonald's Bathroom. This is her second video on TikTok and it has amassed 14.6 million views. With that, her new genre of cleaning video was born. In the next video, she went on to clean a McDonald's bathroom using only McDonald's menu items, which of course is disgusting, but that is also the point. She knows it's weird and she understood the rage bait assignment long before many other people. Now, if you don't know what rage bait is, it's a social media tactic and you do something in the video deliberately aimed at pissing off the viewers. That way, the viewer, when they get mad at the thing in the video, they are then baited into commenting and engaging with the video just to let you know how mad they are. More engagement means that your video is more likely to do better in the algorithm, which means more views, which means more money. This is a very popular tactic on social media right now, especially in 2025. A lot of creators are doing this. For example, the infamous period bath time thing that one person posted, like, that was rage bait. It's highly unlikely that person ever actually used that bath water. This is also very popular in the food niche where people make enormous coffees they're never going to drink, or they make disgusting food combinations knowing that it's going to gross people out and piss them off. Anyway, she goes on to do these bathroom cleanings at other McDonald's, at Walmart. She goes on to do other places as well. She gets caught and kicked out several times by the employees or the manager. Like, that in itself pisses a lot of people off. Like, she clearly wants to get caught because, again, rage bait, because people are like, why would they be mad? They're not cleaning the bathroom. That bathroom's disgusting. She's just helping them for free and now they don't have to do it. But people need to understand that that's a huge liability for the company. First of all, it's illegal to have somebody do any work for an establishment without being paid for it. So McDonald's could get in trouble for that, or whatever company it is. And if you got hurt in the process, if you were standing on the sink to clean the ceiling, let's say, and you fall and hit your head, that's a huge liability. You haven't signed liability documents with the company, so you could sue the company for that. And then there's just also something to be said about intentionally making workers that are getting paid minimum wage uncomfortable. You know that they're gonna have to say something, but they're really not gonna want to. They're gonna be confused. I know when I was a retail worker, that would be my worst nightmare, to confront a customer, because that's the last thing you want to do, because you're always taught to basically be submissive and be nice to the customer, even if they're berating you and swearing at you. And so just making workers that have minimum wage jobs, making their lives harder than they already are, just really seems like the opposite of what she claims to be preaching here. Anyway, all that to say, all of her videos get millions of views. Every single one of her videos. I found very few videos with less than 1 million views, especially on TikTok, and she's been posting less than 2 years. And she doesn't post consistently. either. It's very sporadic, and I cannot stress to you guys how fast that is to grow on social media. It took me 5 months of constantly posting multiple videos a week on YouTube for me to get my first 100 subscribers. Granted, I'm not comparing that directly to her because I was not experienced. I didn't know what I was doing, whereas she clearly did. She clearly understood the algorithm and the social media game before she even started. So she started out with very high quality content, whereas I definitely didn't. So I'm not saying it's a direct comparison, but for most people, it takes a very long time to grow on social media, even to a moderate sized platform. If not, most people quit before they even get a really good audience. And the fact that she just took off almost immediately is just something to note. It is, whatever your opinions on this person is, it is smart. You can't deny that she is smart and she knows how the game is played. Here's a few more examples of her rage bait. She does this series where she cleans plushies, and I bet you money she got them dirty like that to begin with. There's no way she's just conveniently finding these plushies around that dirty. Then she uses way too much cleaning products. She doesn't use gloves deliberately. She gets white socks all dirty. She throws them into the ocean only to retrieve them again. This one at the very, very end, there's like one flash of her with like crazy black mascara running down her face, and this is all nonsensical on purpose. She's literally just throwing random shenanigans in there to make the viewer be like, what the hell is this? And therefore they're more likely to comment. In this video, she shows a ridiculous amount of bananas in her refrigerator, and bananas are a ongoing theme in her videos. You'll spot bananas everywhere. She'll like put it in a line of cleaning products she's using. And again, it doesn't make sense. It's just rage bait. There's no clue. It's not a hint to anything. It's literally just to make people confused. Then she has videos where she does like white socks and like runs into ketchup, cleaning up the ketchup, but she's really getting the socks dirty. Obviously, we're going to talk about that more later. Here's a video where she does a what I eat in a day, and again with the bananas, but the rest of the video is just her eating disgusting things, intentionally pretending like these are normal things to eat. Raw liver, drinking Pepto-Bismol with whipped cream on it, watermelon with mustard. Don't fall for it. If you see videos like this, keep on scrolling. The longer you watch these types of videos, the more they're going to get put in your feed, which means the more views for these rage baiters who are doing pretty lazy content, in my opinion, and making shit tons of money off of it. And I told you, she is the queen of rage bait. She is so good at it. And it's why I believe that she grew so quickly. To me, it's very lazy content, but you can't deny that she's great at it. And it worked for her. Okay, on to the grave cleaning. This is what the clean girl is most known for and where a lot of the controversies has been stirred up. So on November 11th, 2023, Stacy did her first grave cleaning for free video. And this video was sitting at 33 million views.
Cleaning an abandoned grave for free. When I approached this headstone, it was completely covered in dirt, so I had no idea who this person was. But as I started scrubbing the dirt away, I could finally read the name, Daniel B. Schiltz. But what surprised me even more about this headstone was the beautiful picture of Daniel. Daniel was a retired Phoenix firefighter who passed away at the young age of 47. He was a respected father, husband, son, and brother. I read his obituary online, and Dan was best known for his contagious smile and laughter. He was a well-respected firefighter, a family man, and cared deeply for others, and he is missed by many friends and family.
Now, I'm even surprised at myself for saying this, but honestly, this one's not that bad. She's respectful. At least in this one, she read the person's obituary beforehand and told us a little bit about this person. She shares something about him and just cleans it up and leaves it. She doesn't take anything, she just leaves her own flowers. We'll get into the cleaning products she's using later when we talk about criticisms. I know some of you guys who are familiar with this account are chomping at the bit right now. I promise I will get to it. But all in all, at least this first couple of videos of this grave cleaning is respectful. I do think, of course, it would be better if she had gotten permission from the family to do this. It doesn't look very abandoned to me, but still, in comparison to what we're going to watch later, later, this is pretty tame. The next few videos are also pretty much like this, very respectful, very tame, but then it soon takes a wild turn. In December of 2023, she posted this video.
A little baby was buried here. I'm gonna clean her grave for free. When I began cleaning, my dog Scout started barking, but nothing was there. I decided to stay and finish. Baby Genesis was born October 4th, 2008. I couldn't believe how young she was when she passed away. There's 8 teddy bears on her grave. They were so dirty and sad looking. I thought of her mother, placing each one down in honor of her daughter. I couldn't put these bears back as they were, so I hand washed each of them. Genesis lived a short life. She died the same day she was born, but you can tell she's deeply missed. Thank you to all my followers who support me to do these transformations.
Now, this video rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, and honestly, I understand. First of all, painting somebody's headstone without permission when you don't know what you're doing is wild. There's no indication that she got permission from the family to do this. And if you think about it, this is like really fucked up. No, it's not the worst thing anyone has ever done in the history of the internet, but it's still pretty fucked up. Washing somebody's teddy bears on their gravestone is so, it's hurtful. And besides the painting of the headstone when she doesn't know what she's doing, it's the lack of consent for cleaning this child's teddy bears on her gravesite that got a lot of backlash and made a lot of people super angry. And I do understand the backlash here, because if you've never lost a child, I think it's hard for many people to understand if they don't want kids or they've never lost a child. But for somebody who's lost their kid, especially a baby this old that was like 1 day old, you might be washing, a lot of people said this, you might be washing the memories from those teddy bears. There might be a very specific reason that those teddy bears are on that grave, and the family might never want them washed. So like, imagine that was the last teddy bear that you were cuddling with the baby before the baby passed. You know, like what if that teddy bear was near the child or in the baby's crib? Or what if it was a special teddy bear somebody gave when they found out that the person was pregnant? It could be all sorts of things, and there might be very significant sentimental value in those bears, and maybe they smelled like the nursery when you put them down on the grave, and you just washed all that out. For all you know, this family went to go visit their baby's grave and they started sobbing. Like maybe they started crying uncontrollably because somebody in their eyes vandalized and messed up their lost child. And just because she thinks like a lot of them are abandoned, you don't know what happened to that family either. Maybe they had to move away after this because the grief was too much and they finally got to come back and visit, and it's just let's watch another one of these grave cleaning videos together.
Whoa, who's buried here? Let's clean this grave and find out. No one should ever have their name buried in dirt.
Look, it's clean Jesus.
Okay, I have a secret. I'm scared of being forgotten. That's why when I see a dirty grave, I have to clean it. Everyone deserves to be remembered.
Oh, I love plants. What does RIP even mean?
I have so many questions. How long has this grave been here? What will it look like when it's clean? And who's buried here?
Wow, look how good I'm doing.
These are supposed to be flower pots, but there's no flowers. Let's fix that. Wait! I can't wait to solve this mystery. Are you ready to find out who's buried here? A clue! They were born June 10th, 1910, and they died September 2nd, 1991. Let's keep going. The name, Martha Ramirez Rodriguez.
I get to do this work because you support and follow.
Who's buried here? I'm just a baby. I don't know who's buried here. You guys, this is so crazy. easy. Notice how different her voice. This girl goes through a voice transformation worse than Michaela Noguera. The other rage bait that you might not have noticed, she is saying that it's clean Jesus, when really that's Mary. And she knows that. She's doing that so people get mad. Then she goes, what does RIP even mean? She knows what RIP means. She is, again, rage baiting you. It's also speculated that she edits the videos in post to make all the foams and all the cleaning products look brighter. I don't have any proof of this definitively, but it is speculated that she does this in order to make it look more eye-catching. Okay, so besides the rage bait, the baby talk, and the possible editing of colors, let's talk about the other criticisms that are coming up time and time again. So this is where we're going to talk about the cleaning products. Using weird cleaning products on anyone's gravestone is not a good idea. Cemeteries are often private properties, and in some places it's considered straight up illegal or even desecration to go and clean somebody's grave. If you want to clean a grave, you should be getting permission not only from the family, but from the groundskeeper. And if the family is long, long gone and not to be found, you should at least get permission from the groundskeeper. We know that she's probably not doing that because she goes on to clean the cemeteries at night and starts to get really sneaky about it. And also, if she was getting permission from the groundskeeper, they wouldn't let her do it this way. They know that those chemicals are really bad for gravestones, and if she was getting permission and just not telling us because she knows that would be bigger rage bait, the groundskeeper would say no because she's using the wrong cleaning products and the wrong tools. And using these harsh chemicals are really bad for the stones. Gravestones are made out of pretty delicate stone. Very often, people only use a soft brush and just plain water to clean gravestones. And there's also something called D2 biological solution that is used in the funeral industry. It's kind of the gold standard of gravestone cleaning. In other videos, she's putting fake flowers on the graves, which can also be against the groundskeeper's rules. Sometimes she even replaces the flowers on the gravestone with fake flowers, which can also just be very, very disrespectful. I don't personally have an issue with you leaving flowers on a random person's grave. I think that's a nice thing to do if you're not cleaning the grave and you're literally just like, oh, this person needs fresh flowers, here's some flowers. But don't take anything from somebody's grave. I can't believe I even have to say that. Like, the family might be attached to those. You don't know the story behind whatever was left on that grave before. Like, it's so disrespectful to just throw away somebody else's flowers. Again, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's just weird and just disrespectful. And then one of the other biggest criticisms of her videos is that she is exploiting dead people to sell her cleaning product. You know how we said that all these cleaning products are super bright colors and she often uses that pink one in particular? That's because that's her pink foam and she's trying to sell it to you. Some people on Reddit speculate that it's literally just OxyClean colored pink, but she has her own brand of this pink foam stuff that she sells on her website. And it's just kind of gross to be cleaning graves without permission, with the pretty much sole purpose of not only going viral, but also using it to sell a cleaning product. Like, imagine somebody close to you passed away and somebody used their eternal resting place as a commercial without your permission. And then they talk in a baby voice and go viral on TikTok. Like, yeah. Anyway, okay. Then the other thing is the pink foam itself. I want to talk about the pink foam for a second. If you go online, it's really weird. The pink foam has no reviews anywhere. On the website, there's only a few reviews. On Amazon, there's only a few reviews. They're pretty much all positive. There's a couple bad ones, but mostly they're all positive. Does that not seem super weird to you? There's very few like video reviews of the foam. I could only find one on YouTube, and I haven't seen any other place. And it's just for her having millions of followers across platforms, millions and millions, like 20 million followers across all her platforms. Is that not weird to anybody else that she seems like she hasn't sold that many of these cleaning products? You'd think that this would be flying off the shelves. Like my merch, I feel like my Camping Cryptids merch did better than her pink foam. And I have way fewer followers than her. Maybe it's a really bad product and there's tons of 1-star reviews that she gets deleted. Or perhaps it's just that a lot of children are attracted to her content and children them can't afford to buy $30 cleaning spray. And then all the other people that watch her content it's just rage bait. You know, they're not really following her. They're just annoyed and they move on with their life after commenting. I'm not sure. So that's her grave cleaning stunts and why so many people are pissed off at her. She gets so many negative comments about it. But again, she doesn't care. Like, she wants you to be pissed. She wants you to comment how much you hate her. So now let's talk about the alleged fetish content. Before we do that, I want to give you a comparison of her voice. So here's her voice in the first video.
This just goes to prove that something so simple like a $1 burger from McDonald's could easily make someone's day.
And here's her voice in one of her most recent videos.
The truck got stuck in quicksand. They had to call a real truck to pull it out. That's how it got so muddy. That's scary.
She has lots of plausible deniability because she could say that she's catering to children, but in my opinion, she's also talking in this baby voice to cater to fetishists. Now, the rest of this video, of course, is just my opinion and speculation. Notice that she not only talks in this baby voice, but she's always wearing this pink cute little outfit, and she always has pigtails in her hair. She always is wearing some sort of pigtails. And then she always acts really, really dumb, which is part of the rage bait, but also part of this little girl character. What does RIP even mean? Look, it's clean Jesus. Oh my God, a mango fell on my head and I didn't even see it coming.
A mango fell out of the tree and scared me.
The what is this? The who's buried here? Lots of gasping at the beginning of videos.
Dorita drops into mud.
And just so many other things. Here's her most recent video, and it's a great example.
Oops, sorry. Oh no. How long can you last? Okay, what was that? Dirty kitty. Go, go, go! Wow, can you make it all the way? Jump! Oh, hi! Are you following me? Duck. Duck! Goose? Keep going, we're almost there! Huh, magic foam cleans your whole house. Try it today.
Just a couple things in there. Dirty kitty. That's a euphemism. How long can you last? Oh my God, are you really still going? All in this weird, creepy baby voice. Again, she has plausible deniability here, obviously. She can claim that she has no idea that anybody would take it this way. But in my opinion, she knows perfectly well what she's doing. And then when we talked about the socks, remember how I said I was going to get back to this? We talked about this also in the video where I, talked about how fetish content is, very much alive and well on TikTok, but there's a whole fetish called wet and messy. So this is a very popular fetish, and the whole concept of it is that people really, really like watching, people with this like to watch really pristine things become ruined or watch things just get out of control messy. So her wearing white socks and then getting them really dirty, her using ridiculous amounts of cleaning products, her cleaning these rugs that are really messy, but she gets all dirty, just stuff like that. You'll notice that she uses her feet to clean things randomly, and it's perfect. It kills two birds with one stone, because not only does it appeal to the people like that are into this, but it also appeals to the rage bait, but it also gets people confused and gets them to engage with the video. So for your entertainment and to prove my point, I've made a little compilation. I'm going to insert a compilation here of a lot of the evidence that I have compiled that allegedly, in my opinion, is her adding fetish content into her rage bait content. So here you go.
That's okay. I like it dirty. How did you get so dirty? My friend's a little messy. I don't know what he does in here. The dirtier the better, if you ask me.
Oh.
Why were you abandoned in a toilet? Follow me and let's find out.
I think it's a snake. I love snakes.
This is so bad.
I think I lost a tooth.
$500 toothbrush.
It's so
dirty.
I think I need something even bigger.
My friend's a little messy.
Go, go, go. Yes, I did it. Yes. Yay.
Mustard.
No.
Mud.
No. Oh, that doesn't look good.
Doritos. Come on, give me something crazy.
The giant toothbrush. What's this? Slime? Don't ask questions. Subscribe.
How long can you last? Dirty kitty. Wow, can you make it all the way? Heavy balloon. Can it clean?
Hang on, girl.
Clean this dirty hole. Let's dry you off. Get down in there. Stop moving. Now you can't go anywhere. You're dirtier than my uncle. Clean it and find out.
It's like Christmas.
Along with that compilation, I also found a few of comments on her YouTube channel from people very clearly knowing exactly what is going on. Now, this is problematic in my opinion because, like I said, a lot of her content is also catered to kids, and the catering to kids is actually how she disguises it. So it's her plausible deniability is that she can say, like, I'm just making kids content. I'm talking like that because kids watch my content. I'm doing silly things because kids like it. And to me, that's just even grosser. I know at least kids probably aren't aware of what they're watching, at least. Like, I don't personally think she's grooming anybody by doing this. I don't think kids are any wiser of what she's doing, but I think it's really gross that she's basically using child audience as a cover-up, in my opinion. She could say like, oh, I say I like it dirty because I love to clean. I love messes. Who's buried here? Queen of rage bait, lazy content, but also very, very smart, very strategic. And that brings me to my next point, which is the clean girl never addresses anything. She completely ignores all the criticism. She's never made a response video, never made an apology. She's never acknowledged it in the comments from what I saw. She is never people criticizing her. She's never like even cheekily liked somebody's comment for criticizing her or like responding back. Like, what are you talking about? Like, she's never done that. She responds to or hearts a few comments that are supportive of her or like, oh, I love how you clean, and she'll just say thanks. You know, like she never, not a peep can be heard from this woman. And this is a phenomenon I've seen from other creators, and this is so fascinating to me. But a lot of creators avoid cancellation by completely ignoring controversy. Do not apologize. Do not address it, because you almost never put out a good apology. Almost nobody knows what a real good apology is. They almost always just make it about themselves. But it also just draws more attention to the controversy, gives more clips for the drama channels, gives more things for people to pick apart. I have seen so many creators avoid cancellation with this tactic. If you ignore it, everybody will just forget. The internet moves fast. Some examples of this are Sunny V2 when he made his egregiously transphobic video about Chris, what's-her-face from Mr. Beast, you know, what's-her-face, who ended up being a terrible person too, but it doesn't change the fact that Sunny V2's video was very transphobic to the community as a whole, and he just ignored it. It went away, and his views have not suffered other than backlash on that one video. Tana is really good at this. As many of you know, she gets in constant controversies. Marlena Velez, remember the woman who stole from Target, who got caught red-handed shoplifting from Target? And then she posted a video of like, I am unsubscribing from this drama, with her mugshot in the back, but that's all she did. She completely ignored it other than that and just went on making videos, went on making vlogs, posting content like normal, and it worked. People forgot. People don't care anymore, and her views have not suffered suffered. Michaela Noguera, Lashgate. She completely ignored the backlash, even though everybody and their mother was talking about it and making videos about it online. People still hate her, don't get me wrong. Lots of people do not like her, and she is just objectively a liar. She's been caught lying so many times, but it has not affected her views or her sales. She still has PR packages galore. She's still getting millions of views a video. Her follower count has not suffered. Cody Ko, another great example of this. Cody Ko allegedly sleeping with Tana when he was 25 and she was only 17. Absolutely heinous. And he just completely ignored it. And it went away. He's getting fine views. He just kept posting like normally. And honestly, in a lot of these cases, I don't blame these creators for ignoring it when so many creators get punished for trying to apologize or trying to put out a video. And I'm not saying their apologies are good. So many apology videos are terrible and just are selfish and make it about them, blah, 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 blah. But almost every time making an apology video just makes it worse for yourself. Remember, James Somerton got caught plagiarizing and he could have just moved on and not done it anymore and kept posting videos, maybe deleted his other videos. And I bet you money, he might not be a huge creator, but he would probably still be able to make content on the platform if he had just learned from that very, 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 don't get me wrong, bad and illegal mistake. But he probably would have gotten away with it. Illuminati is another great example of this. She did such a bad job addressing, she made that long expose video where she just tried to get out of a lot of it and then ended up posting somebody's S-word note publicly without their permission. James Charles, Colleen Ballinger, Shane Dawson, Jeffree Star, every time they address controversies, they make it 10 times worse for themselves. I personally think that the difference between influencers who address it and influencers who don't is that the influencers who address it believe that the public is telling lies about them, even if they're not lies. But like, they are so mad that they think it's unjust that everybody's saying this stuff about them. It's stuff that they don't personally believe about themselves. And so they can't help but to address it because they cannot help but to try to change people's minds or try to explain that why this and that is not true. Whereas I think the creators that don't address it and are fine with people just hating them without whatever don't have as much shame and they just don't care if people don't like them. Whereas I feel like the people that address it, they can't help themselves. You know, they just cannot help themselves, even though it never works out well for them. They're interpreting everything that they're being canceled for as lies. The ones with no shame and, in my opinion, very lack integrity are the people who just ignore it. Now, there's nuance here, right? I do get why people ignore some controversies. There are some things that are just not that bad. Somebody has a really, really tone-deaf post, you know, somebody just has a bad video or a bad take on something. God knows I've had bad takes on this channel and elsewhere. I have been wrong before. I've made bad decisions, and every single other creator, you cannot put that much content on the internet and be agreeable and have every one of your opinions agreeable to other people. Just like in real life, we're just not going to agree with all the opinions of our friends and families. And it's just because you have this parasocial relationship with this person why it feels extra hurtful, you know? But if it's not something that harmed a whole community, not something illegal, it was just a bad take or something really tone deaf, like I do understand why you would just ignore that and move on. Learn from your mistake, of course. Don't do it again, but learn from it and move on and don't make it into a bigger thing and do the Barbra Streisand effect. But people like Cody Ko, who did something so legitimately egregious and got away with it because he just ignored it, is just awful. People like Michaela Noguera, who Lashgate was a huge mistake, but she could have learned from it and done better, and she didn't. She just continues to lie, continues to get caught lying and doing fake reviews and using filters, even though she's trying to sell this standard of beauty. And it's just like that kind of stuff where they just ignore it. Just feels like a really, like, you have no integrity in my book. Anyway, this was a very long rant and I apologize, but I needed you to understand all that for you to understand why people like the clean girl do not address anything, and she has gotten away with it. If she just ignores it, just doesn't address it, then all these people will go on commenting how much they hate her and all this and that, and she doesn't care. She likes it, in fact, because it's giving her more engagement, and the rage bait is working. Her not responding is part of the rage bait. She gets so many views. It's probably why she doesn't even have to post that often, because she gets millions and millions of views every single video across different platforms. Do you know how much money she's making? I would bet you my own money that she is a multi-millionaire, if not worth tens of millions of dollars, but at least a multi-millionaire. She makes 30-second videos and gets millions of views and lots of money. So why would she address it when everybody's anger is just helping her? I promise you she will never address this. She's going to ignore it and just continue to make so much money. Now, if you don't want to support creators like this, the best thing to do is to not go to her profile, don't leave angry comments, don't give her views, and don't engage if you don't agree with the way this content is done and the way that she's making this money. And it's a great thing to know for rage bait in general. When you see rage bait, just scroll past and ignore it, because rage bait is not sustainable. I don't think anybody doing rage bait is going to make a good career on social media in the long term, because people will catch on and stop falling for it. We've talked a lot about fetishes in this video. If you are interested in me talking about that more, except in an uncensored way, right now on Patreon, I am doing the iceberg. It's a not safe for work video in terms of my language. There's not like anything graphic or anything, but I'm extremely crass and I go into all of the things, and the iceberg's getting deep. It gets scary at the end, and it's an iceberg all about that. And I think parts 1 through 5 are out right now, and part 6 is coming very soon. So if you want access to that, you have to sign up for the mid-tier or higher of the Patreon, which is here or in the description down below. We also have a lot of fun over there. We do monthly Netflix parties together. We have polls. We do, there's a private Discord server, all that other fun stuff. So go check it out. Thank you again to Hungry Root for sponsoring this video. Don't forget to use my discount code if you're interested in trying that. And speaking of patrons, special shout out to our newest top alien tier patrons. And that is Liz Whatever, Inky Brushes, Whit Lamport, Sheep Radio, Paper Eels, Tess Alexandria, Mark Levin, Jenny Wolf Matt, or Mate, I'm so sorry if I'm saying that wrong, and Red Blazed. Thank you guys so much for joining the Patreon. I appreciate you all so much, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye.